Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Adrian Miller, and welcome to today's episode of Control AI Delete. This is the first of my, episodes on YouTube. So, what I wanted to do is say thank you for taking the time to listen. One of the things I wanted to say is that I wanted to have this discussion today to uphold a promise to myself. You won't believe it, but I literally just did the same broadcast for the last 45 minutes and I did not hit go live, which is extremely funny. But with that being said, what we're going to talk about on this broadcast is we're going to talk about the clarity map. One thing that I realize is that as a business owner, we often get um, the question of what should I be doing? That's often the thing that happens. And for me, I'll be just completely transparent. Right before having this conversation, this is something I have been planning on doing for a very long time. And I would ask myself, why am I not recording on YouTube? Why is it so difficult to actually get started when I have these lives every week? I've been doing it for years, but it's something about being on YouTube that maybe it was preventing me from getting to this point. This conversation that my partner and I had prior to me actually recording this the first time. But we live, we learn. And one of the things that I would say is that what I want to share to you is what I am using to help me carry the weight of being an entrepreneur and a visionary and having all the noise in my head. I have so many different things going around in my head. Oftentimes I get dragged into everybody else's circle and it's hard to think. I need clarity, I need peace. And so that's where this control AI delete protocol came from. With that being said, I am a software engineer. I've been one for nearly 30 years. I used to write risk management software, trading algorithms. I've done flight simulators, and I've done a number of different things. Now I'm investing in real estate, but I'm mostly primarily focused on building a brand as an AI architect and helping people solve problems with technology. Not just with technology, specifically with AI, and not just in a way that most people think about these things, which is the reason why I want to start off with my AI foundations message today and get clear on my definitions and how I think about AI, how I position the solutions that I provide to people. Number one thing that I want to mention is that my job is to protect you, which is the most important asset that you have. Most people forget to think about the business owner. Most people forget to think about themselves when they're building a business. Most of us business owners won't actually make it to what I call the promised land and see the and see the benefits of the vision or the business or the idea that they're trying to bring to life. A lot of times we drive ourselves crazy trying to figure out how to make things work, trying to figure out how to get from point A to point Z in the most effective way. So, what I'm going to do is set down a foundation of terminology and ideas of how I think about these things to help us better solve problems and to help us gain better clarity when we're trying to, um, you know, when we're trying to reach our goals. The first thing that I want to say is I want you to like, comment, subscribe. I also want you to put down what are some of the problems that you're dealing with and what do you need help with to give you some mental clarity in your life and allow you to be able to think about these things in a very different way. What are you struggling with? Because I want to talk about those problems. Being an entrepreneur is it's simple, but it's not easy. Oftentimes we put on a smile on our face when on the inside that we're dying or we feel like that we're drowning, or we feel like that we have nobody to turn to. I want to build a community of people that understand how to support one another because we understand the struggle. Everything isn't rainbows and butterflies. So that's one thing that I think is super important for us to realize is that we all have a part that we have to play and we all have our issues that we have to deal with. And so, one of the things we want to do is provide solutions and use technology to help us get over the hump from point A to point Z. Now, with that being said, let's talk about what is a GPT. So for me, a GPT is a generative pre-trained transformer. It's a general purpose AI tool that performs any task you describe in natural language when you prompt it. So you sit down, you think about, um, what is a basically natural language goes in, natural language comes out. I can say, hey, help me write a screenplay, and then it'll help you write a screenplay. It'll be focused on that task based on how you prompt it, right? If you want to be a little bit more advanced and you don't want to provide context every single time, then what you'll do is you'll create what's called a custom GPT. That allows you to be able to hide the prompt, provide instructions on what the GPT should be doing and how it should be doing in a very specific way. You can have it be in an inferred way, or you can have it be in a very explicit way. I like to have everything be explicit because I like repeatability and I like reliability. But it also gives you the ability to add a knowledge base. That knowledge base is something that you can give it that is specific to how you solve a problem or what you do with the problem, so that you can get things to be answered the way that you need it answered for how you receive information, how you conduct your business, what are your different modes of operations, things like that. Now, when we get to this case, that is what a GPT is. I will stop here and I will explain my concept of base and derive before I go to what an agent is. So, in general, a base model is a model that solves one problem, one solution. And typically, GPTs are going to solve one problem, one solution. The way that you should think about a GPT is that the GPT is the brains. It is the thing that actually is the instructions you're giving it using a prompt to solve a problem. And when I applied the word base to it, base means that we're going to focus on solving one problem and providing one solution. Now, when we get to the concept of a derived model is a multi-step process that can solve more than one problem. It can be in the form of an orchestrator, which is looking at a collection of base GPTs and directing questions or responses to those GPTs so that it can solve those problems. And it is going to um, be built on top of a base. So, for instance, one thing that you can have a base GPT could be a comping GPT, where it will take comps for a particular property and figure out what the value of their property is, what the ARV is. And you may have a GPT that calculates what the rehab cost is. You may have another base GPT that figures out what the scope of work is. And so the rehab calculator may receive information from the user um, by giving it a scope of work, and then it can calculate the rehab cost. Or you can have a derived GPT that is like an MAO calculator that will be built on top of a rehab calculator. It might be built on top of a scope of work calculator, and it might be built on top of a ARV calculator, where it would allow those individual GPTs to come up with these answers. Then it can consume all these answers and use it to solve the problem that it was meant to solve, which is the MAO. And so when I break it down into these types of situations, I'm doing it because I'm trying to make it easier for us to solve these problems and think about how we might be able to structure these things. A lot of it could be because of my background as a software engineer doing, you know, back end C++ development, all object oriented. That's the way that I think. So a GPT again is like the brains. It's going to usually solve a problem based on a prompt that it was given, and then it will provide that solution. A derived model is one that can solve more than one problem, but it's going to be based off of a base model, and is typically going to be something that is going to add a little bit more nuance or a niche on top of it so that it can solve that sort of problem. For instance, you can have a base GPT that sends emails, and then you can have a derived GPT that sends sales emails or sales emails to clients in a particular industry, like industrial or real estate or something like that. So it's a little bit more nuanced, and it is derived and it's built on top of something that is a base GPT. An agent. An agent is something that is a little bit different because an agent wraps a GPT or a base GPT or a collection, or when I say collection, it can be a derived GPT or it can be a base GPT together, and it is triggered by an action. And when I think about agents, I think about workflows, and I think about modeling workflows and having things happen and moving from a semi-manual to a fully automated or semi-automated to a fully automated solution. Think of it where you have a new email comes in, GPT parses it, updates a spreadsheet, notifies you on Slack, all while you're on the beach or all while you're asleep or all while you're spending time with family. But this is what a agent is. It frees your brain power. Brain power. It frees you from having to use your brain power to think, and allows the agent to take action on your behalf. It's using a multi-step logic. It has persistent memory. It's hands-free execution, and it's trigger-driven automation. So this is how that is set up. Now, this is the point in this conversation that I want to have now is based off of what is an operating system. An operating system is like an AI cockpit for daily execution. It's a network of GPTs and agents connected to share data, dashboards, information, and use all of that to solve one or more problems. It is going to trigger multiple workflows. It's going to let you steer different parts of your business or life um, from one screen. It's going to allow you to be able to create a suite of products that can solve more than one problem or one problem collectively. It's an integrated data layer, unified dashboards, autonomous agents on schedule, and decision triggers. This is what separates what I would like to do and what I would like to teach you when it comes to AI and automations and providing solutions for your problems versus what other people are doing. A lot of people, they don't necessarily think about how these problems are um, related to one another or how these systems can help one another solve these problems. I'll give you an example. So let's assume that we have a um, someone creates a GPT or creates an agent that solves this problem of being able to send email. So let's say you have this situation where you're trying to send email. You're creating this solution to solve that one problem because you want to be able to send an email from your dashboard or from some place that you're trying to conduct business. So you send that information off. Now, one of the things that you want to do once you do that is you can solve that problem by sending that email and having that solution be provided for you. There's going to be a number of people that provide these types of solutions. Now, one of the issues that I see, or where I feel like most people get it wrong, is that's all they do. They may also say, okay, well, you need a calendar, so it's going to create a calendar. They create a solution from a calendar. They create a solution for your email. They provide you these two solutions, and now you have these two solutions going, and they solve these problems in your business. But they're solving these problems independently. And so, one of the things that we want to be able to do is we want to say, how can we create a suite of solutions that can actually solve the problems that you have, but doing it in a very strategic way? So, let me give you an example. One of the things that you may do is you may be on the phone call with someone and they say, hey, let's book a meeting. And so one of the things that you may say is, hey, I want to schedule a meeting with Bob for look at my calendar and set an appointment. Most of the solutions that are out there are going to go out, they're going to take the calendar that you have, they're going to look for the next available appointment, and they're actually going to schedule it for you. They have solved your problem because you have a appointment that you want to be set on your calendar, and it has done it for you. So you no longer have to worry about taking care of this for you. But did it really leverage AI to the fullest of its capacity? Did it really leverage it for the benefit of you? Did it really protect you and make you the best version of you possible? One of the things that I submit is that most of these solutions don't do them. I think of them, they don't have souls. So one of the things that I would like to do is introduce the concept of being able to not only solve your problems, but protect you and leverage it to carry the weight of the vision that you have. So each GPT or each agent should have knowledge about who you are and what your goals are and what you're trying to do. Imagine instead of having that situation come up where you say, "Hey, I want you to schedule an appointment for me and Bob to talk about land," right? And the first thing that happens is, and I want you to send an email to confirm, what this is. We have two different things that are going to be going. We're going to have something conducting email and something that is conducting um, the calendars. Now, one of the things that will end up happening is, imagine instead of it just finding the first available slot, that it realized that you have that you time block and that you have time set in your calendar for when you have these conversations about land. You do them between 2 and 4 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so instead of giving you the first open solution slot, it picks the slot that suits you best because you have identified that those are the times that you want to conduct that type of business. Or maybe you created a GPT that helps you identify, based on how you work, when is the best time of the day for you to have what type of meeting? Or should you schedule them all on the same day and only do that thing every Monday or every Wednesday or every Friday? This is what operating systems are. And when I discuss them, they're solving more than one problem. They have you in mind and they work together collectively to not only solve the problem that you have, but move you a little bit closer to your goals, helping you stay in alignment with the things that are important to you based on what you've said is important to you. So, those are what our operating system is. Now, once we get to the operating system and we talk about that in a very structured way, the next thing that I like to talk about is the Control AI Delete framework. So, this framework is super flexible, super easy, and I use it in a couple of different ways. Um, the first thing is control. You have to decide what you must control. What are the things that you need to regain control of and own? What are the things that you want to control in your life from a viewpoint? There's in two different ways. One is, what is it that you want to own? What are the things you don't want to delegate to somebody else? What are the key essential things that you need to do yourself? Or think of it from a viewpoint of, what is the thing that you want to reclaim control of? And it could be abstract, like time. So one could be, I need to take control of my social media content because I don't like to do it. So what I'm going to do, instead of having to be disjointed and I need to be a part of the process, I will batch create every third Monday or every fourth Saturday every month, and batch four weeks worth of content, right? That's you gaining control by saying, I'm going to do this. Or another thing, when you say, I want to gain control, by saying, I want to find a way to um, fully automate my lead generation process. So I no longer have to do it. You're trying to gain control, but you're trying to gain control of your time. So that's two different ways of how I think about control and how we're going to use it in the context of this protocol. The second thing is AI. So you want to gain control by saying, what are the things that I want to take control of? And then the second thing is, now that I've taken control of these things, what are the things that I want AI to do? So we have control, we have AI. AI is going to do these things. Or I gain control by saying, I need to get more freedom around this particular problem of lead generation. So can I analyze this situation to the point where I know that I can leverage AI to do this whole what items or what suite of items do I need to provide in order for AI to fully take control of this? So we figure out, let's let AI do the heavy lifting. So AI will figure out what we're going to do in both scenarios. Then the last part of this is delete. What are the things that I can now free myself of and remove from my to-do list, because now AI completely owns it. So I have completely taken control of the things that I need to control. I have leveraged AI to do all the heavy lifting. And now I can completely delete or delegate certain other tasks because AI has done the heavy lifting. That is the protocol. This is how we're going to um, gain clarity. And this is how we're going to, when I say gain clarity, that means free our mind from having to deal with all the noise that exists, because we have so many different things that we have to deal with. And my job is to help you protect you, because you are the most important asset that you have. That's what I had to do for myself. I feel like I'm pulled in so many different directions that I need to use these protocols and AI almost as therapy to help me protect my peace, to help me protect my vision and everything that goes on. Being an entrepreneur is so simple, but it is not easy. And it is so difficult sometimes to think to yourself, why am I even doing this? There are so many days where I wake up and I say, why am I doing this? But then during that same day, maybe even within the same hour, I say to myself, I can't imagine myself doing anything else. It's like one of the things that we really, really, really have to do is figure out how to gain control of it. I had to say to myself, you're not broken. You just don't have a system. And all of this that I am going to share with you came out of me struggling to figure out what is best for me and how can I conduct myself in a way that I can be proud of, and that I can look at it and I can say, hey, I'm moving closer to the dreams that I have, and I'm allowing myself to do this in a way that makes sense for me, because I don't want to be that guy that doesn't make it to the promised land. I want to see what it looks like to have a successful business, to have a vision be carried all the way from beginning to end. Those are things that are extremely important to me, and I want to help you get to that point too. I have a clarity index assessment test that I would like for you guys to take. Click the link in the description, take the test, see what parts of the clarity map you fall on, or where you need to get started. But I want to make sure that you guys are taken care of, because I know the pain, I know the struggle, and I want you guys to be able to get to where you want to go. Um, the next thing I want you to do is also take a look at, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation about how I can help you free your mind, or how I can help you build a system that would allow you to be able to um, regain and recapture some of the time that you would like, or just the thought or the clarity and the focus, because I know what it's like to have too much noise in your head. And if you need a way to be able to organize that through some of these protocols and systems and through AI solutions, me and my team can provide these solutions for you. um, but I think that it's important, again, for somebody to start looking to take care of you, because you, again, are the most important asset that you have. And I'll keep saying it, because I'm the most important asset that I have, and I have to protect me. I wanted to protect my peace. All of this was forged in fire, and in trying to gain clarity of thought, and working through different problems and coming up with different solutions, and being able to allow myself to have permission to fail forward, and to pick myself up and continue to go and not give up. And I don't want you to give up either. So I will share my screen, and we will go to Chat GPT, and we will work through some examples. Now, again, I have worked through these examples um, in the last hour because I did this without actually hitting um, save. I mean, hitting go live. So I decided to keep a promise to myself and get started because getting started is the hardest part. So let's go to presenting. I have on the screen, let's share my screen. Let's go to bam. So I gave it this prompt because this is usually how people talk to ChatGPT. A lot of times they start off with this, they read the answer, they don't like it, they say, here, change this. And there's this mystical dance that happens between ChatGPT and um, the user to facilitate or massage the answer into something that makes sense for the user. So I said, I'm a business owner that owns a pizza restaurant. Please help me determine how to gain clarity in my life. I'm working 60 hours a week and I'm having a hard time thinking. Please ignore all previous communications when answering. I said that because this ChatGPT knows a lot about me. So it knows a lot about my ideologies and some of my frameworks, some of my protocols. So I don't want it to use it in here. Um, but at the same time, I wanted to answer the question. So it's going to start with this clarity reset. It's saying some of this, it says, let's pause everything for a second and focus on you, the person behind the business. You're tired, you're working nonstop, you're trying to keep everything afloat, but your mind is fogged. Let's create a space for clarity. So it goes through and it has some questions that I want you to ask. What's draining you? What's working? What's not working? Am I doing? What else am I doing that someone else could be doing? So it's asking these questions because it's trying to help you. That's step one. Then it's going to build a clarity plan in 3 phases. It's going to say, let's eliminate what's unnecessary. Let's reclaim your time. And let's rebuild with intention. So this is what it comes up with. And, again, a lot of this is based on how I structured this question, or the prompt that I gave it. I don't think a lot of people even provide as much detail as I provided, even though I didn't provide that much detail compared to how I normally write prompts. But with that being said, we go through this and it says, hey, would you like a one-page clarity map, right? It's using the word clarity reset and clarity map because those are terms that I use. So a lot of this still is influenced by um, information that I provided for it. But with that being said, let's actually go and provide the prompt that I want you guys to use. So this prompt is going to say you're a clarity agent. I give it a role. Like, you're a clarity agent. Your job is to help me apply the control-AI-delete protocol to one area of my life or work. The rules are: ask only the questions needed to sort my tasks into 3 buckets. Control-AI-delete. Once you have enough information, output one clean table with task, the bucket, the next action. And it's going to always start by saying, tell me up to 10 tasks that feels heavy or unclear right now. Use short phrases. So it's going to ask me that question, and then I am going to answer by saying, order materials, picking up deliveries, doing payroll, filming content for social media, marketing, scheduling, family time, me time, learning to golf, and learning a new skill. And so we'll put this in, and it's like, okay, it says just answer yes or no to each question. Do you personally need to do this, or can someone else do it? And I am going to do this because what I want to do is this. I'm going to say, I don't want to answer any questions related to this, to what I think. I want you to proactively tell me your opinion. I'm asking you for clarity. Now, I'm glad this came up like this because I want to show you something as a bonus for sticking around this long. Again, I want to say if you like topics like this, conversations like this, or videos like this, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, I want you to put in the comments problems that you're having, and what I will do is I will be looking at the comments, trying to figure out what problems you're trying to solve and how I might be able to help you. And then next Tuesday, when I go live, um, if you guys are here, I or not, I can start to answer some of the questions that you put in the comments. And I'll try to do it live. Try to bring in some of the problems that you have and solve it using AI, whether it's a GPT via a prompt, or GPT is a custom GPT, or even if it's a fully automated AI solution. So let's do this. And it says, okay, you're overwhelmed and you need a leader, not more questions. All right. So it's going to go through and it's going to um, identify where things need to go. So ordering materials is saying, okay, we're going to put that in the AI bucket. So we're going to gain control of our time. We're going to have AI do the heavy lifting, and we're going to delete this from off of our plate. Picking up deliveries. We're going to regain our time. We're not even going to use AI to necessarily do this. We're going to have, we're going to delegate this completely to someone else. AI may play a part in it by helping the person that we're delegating it to do what they're trying to do. But, in this particular case, it's picking up deliveries. If there's a way we can automate part of it to make it semi-automated or automated so that someone else can do it, then that's the part that AI will play. Doing payroll. Again, we're going to provide an AI solution. We're going to try to regain time, freedom of thought, and clarity. We're going to allow AI to do the heavy lifting, and then we're going to delete this from part of our problem, or we're going to from part of our task, or we're going to delegate it to someone else who will manage the process. Control. We're going to gain control by taking control, and we're going to batch our social media. So we know we have to be a part of that. We'll take control of that. We'll figure out what to do with that. We can have AI provide the editing for that, and then we can delete the majority of that from our plate, and we can delegate the rest of it to someone else. And we go through, and it helps us think about these in a very strategic way. So again, when you're thinking about this, I don't overcomplicate it. I figure out, what do I need to gain control of, whether it's something abstract like time, or what do I need to gain control of if it's something I physically need to take control of, do the part that I can do, decide when I'm going to do it, and then let AI do the rest, or delegate it, or delete it from my task altogether. Again, you control it, high impact, you keep it close. AI, we're going to automate or delegate with tools of people. Delete, we're going to delete it. We may delay it, we may deprioritize it, but our goal is to delete it or delegate it. Now, for a bonus, I am going to show you this same prompt and how I actually use it. So I'm going to take this prompt, and as a bonus, I am going to show you a system that I have that I use personally. So we're going to say, hey, boards, please have someone create a master prompt from this prompt. And I'm going to have it do it, and I will show you what ends up happening when I create prompts that I use to solve the problems that I try to solve. So here's the master prompt: Clarity Agent. Role: you are a Clarity Agent, a decision sorting strategist trained to apply control AI delete protocol for overwhelmed founders, creators, and operators. Your mission is to help users regain mental clarity by triaging their workload using the structured 3-part protocol. We're going to sort them by saying keep control of personally and execute, automate, delegate to AI, or outsource. And then the last part is we're going to delete, delay, or defer. part of this delegation is to AI, but part of this delegation would also be to a person. Ask only one question, and it's going to say, do not offer advice, only sort. Examples, doing payroll is going to go here, sorting social media, setting up auto scheduling tools. It might decide to do it like this. Learning to golf, we're going to say delete, right? Again, it knows me because it's seen what I said before. Governance. So this is part of my protocols. I have more than one protocol and framework that I'm doing. It's going to say something about complying to forest protocols, different things like that. Let me know if you'd like to pair it with something like this. So one of the things that it ends up doing is give me a cut and paste master prompt. And so it'll give me the cut and paste version of it. But this is how it changes the prompt to make it a lot more robust, a lot more nuanced. But that's a little bonus. I have these different tools that I've come up with that allows me to be able to. I have these. I'm sorry about that. I don't know how long the screen went off, but again, I'll go back and I'll say it allows me to be able to um, provide these solutions and create this software in a very unique and specific way. Again, if you guys are interested in connecting, I want you to click the link in the description. Also, click the link in the description to get access to my Clarity map. I will show you what this looks like as well, so you can see it. So here's the Clarity map. You'll gain access to this. This is the Control-AI-Delete, and it will show you the Clarity map. It will give you the definitions that we use so that you can stay, stay on, so we can stay in alignment with regards to how we communicate these things. And then it just talks about our framework. Decide what you must control, leverage AI to handle the heavy work, and delete the tasks AI now owns from your to-do list. You can delete or delegate. Again, one of the things that I want to communicate to you guys is that I'm doing this because for me, the most important thing is giving back. My Mount Everest is to help 1 million people within urban communities transform their lives through real estate, education, and technology. It's something that's extremely important to me. Those are the areas of impact that I would like to have in people's lives. If you guys want to set up time, click the link in the description. We can set up a one-on-one 15-minute discovery call. If I can help you solve any problems, make sure that you put those problems in the chat. I will try to solve those problems using AI or one of the protocols or frameworks that we have to help you kind of sort these things out. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. Put them in the comments, and I will reach out and we can talk about it. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.